What's up guys, this is day 5 of the creation of a streetwear graphic per day for 30 days. In yesterday's video I tried to create a graphic with the word movement because it was the word extracted by an online generator. Today's word extracted by an online generator is speed, so let's get going with the graphic in Photoshop. Here we are in Photoshop, so when I think of speed, I think of horses, so I decided to get going with the horse theme. Then I found this image here that involves a horse race, so I decided to use this image here. I decided to go with the horse for other two reasons. The first one is that I saw a couple of years ago the Lil Nas X Old Town Road cover, which features two horses on a white background, and I really loved that concept there of putting two horses on a white background. And the second reason is that I saw the video of the Jack Harlow Drake song, which I really, by the way, liked it. And I really liked the colors in that video and how they color graded the horses and the horse race. So I just wanted to go with that flow and creating something with it. Here I'm just removing the background that I don't want to use for this graphic. In this case I'm using the mask tool and the pen tool by hand. This is the more efficient way, in my opinion, of doing it. There are a ton of reasons to use this feature here, but of course you can find even your own way of removing the background. There are a bunch of videos here on YouTube that just tell you how to remove a background, but I usually go with this method here since it takes a bunch of time, but the end result is super clean. So this is why I choose to just remove it by hand. Let's fast forward this part here since it's a bit useless to see. Here we have the final cutout image that we're going to use to create the graphic. Here what I'm doing is that I'm basically refining the details that I couldn't refine before. So I just removed the parts that I didn't cut out since they were inside the image, and I'm just adding some clogs. I just search it on Google Translate for the horse since the clogs of the horse were inside the dirt and so I couldn't use them. Do you see this horse racing brand name? Well, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to remove it and add the Global Mind Studios, so my brand name. As you can see, using this technique here, it's just a mess, so I will need to find another way of removing the text to then add my own text. The thing that I decided to do is just to paint over with a similar color the things that I did want to remove. In this case I kept the 6, even if the day that I'm designing this is day 5, I'm not 6, but I just left it like this. Here I'm just removing all the excess things that I didn't want so that over I can add my brand name with a similar font. And you might ask, yeah, but then you'll see the difference. Well, no, since I'm gonna add the threshold effect over this graphic here. So we are going to use the same exact color, and then to replace the text that was before, we will add Global Mind and then on the bottom Studios, and it will come, promise you, really, really nice. As you can see, it's really nice like this, but it's not finished since we're going to add over it a threshold effect. As you can see, it's really awesome with the threshold effect, mainly because I'm just removing all the colors, and so the details such as the painted gray on the patch that then we added Global Mind Studios with the threshold effects is more real. Now it's time to add the actual word that we generated this morning, which is speed. I used this yellowish orange color, which by the way is very similar to the Certified Lover Boy Nike collection, and I chose it even for this reason here. I was trying here to add some gradients over the threshold effect, but then I thought that simplicity is key, and so I decided to keep it like this. Even without this text that I'm adding right now, I will delete it later. Spoiler alert, because it's just too messy and I don't really like to add always text. Before removing the text though, I wanted to add some little details that will spark more attention to the design and make it more more cool. So since the horse is going fast, I want to add some leaves that usually with the wind go pretty quick in the air, and so I wanted to replicate that kind of effect with these leaves here, always with the threshold effect to remain with the same vibe. Here I'm just playing around with different type of leaves, but then I decided just to choose 2 of these 4 that I'm playing around with, otherwise they were too much. Now it's time to reimagine the bottom part of this design here, so instead of putting just a random paragraph of this 30-day challenge, I will just add 2 or 3 of my logos. I will choose I think these 2 here that suit the best this design, or maybe 3, yeah, 3, because I just want to make it unique to my brand. And also in the horse races there are a lot of brands that sponsor the racings, and so I wanted to do something similar with it. Then I wanted to add again the Global Mind Studios sign with the font of the patch on the horse, the one that I added before, on the side there to make it really similar in the font of the speed text down below and of the actual patch on the horse. To finish up this bottom part, I'm gonna add a really short and brief text which describes the horse racing world in just a few words. Just something short that I can add there to make it really nice and symmetrical. Now that we finished this design here, it's time to rate it using 4 criterions. You can see them on screen right now. Here is the final score for this graphic. We are going to rate each graphic for this 30-day adventure and journey. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you tomorrow with a new graphic. Bye bye.